know the number one reason people fail at living a healthy lifestyle or trying to eat healthy? It's planning. We never plan to fail. We just fail to plan. That's why meal planning is so important. When we have things that are cooked for us or ready for us, we have no excuses. That's why meal planning is very important. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Vicki-Lynne. So glad you could join me here in my kitchen once again for another meal prep video. So I have some great recipes for you this week, so stay tuned. So when I'm meal prepping, I like to get a few things on the go. So while I'm doing one thing, something else can be cooking. Sorry. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get a few things going. First of all, I'm actually going to make chili rellenos, and you'll see how all the recipes kind of tie in. So when I plan ahead, I sit down and think of a couple of recipes, and then I incorporate the ingredients that I'm going to use. So I don't necessarily plan out all of the meals. I plan out ingredients that I can mix and match. Some people can eat the same thing over and over again, and I can, but then you get really, really bored, and nobody wants that. So I'm putting a couple of sweet potatoes in the oven and my chili rellenos because I don't have a gas stove, so I can't blaze it to cook it. So these are going to go into the oven. I'm cooking it at 425 until they're done. One thing going. Second one, I'm cooking quinoa. I'm on a bit of a quinoa kick lately. Better for my digestion, so my quinoa is going in next. I've rinsed my quinoa, and quinoa is super simple. It's 2 to 1. 1 part quinoa, 2 parts water. You're not using any salt, leave it out. I'm just putting just a splash of salt, and then that's going on the stove. Oh, wrong burner. That's going on the stove with the lid, and we're going to let that cook. That takes about 15 minutes. Again, that's another thing we don't need to worry about for the next little while. The next thing I like to make every week is cheese sauce. My delicious potato, carrot cheese sauce. Enter recipe here. You've probably seen it 100 times. I switch it up every week, whether I put cashews in it, don't put cashews in it, put cayenne pepper in it, don't put cayenne pepper in it, put some red peppers in it, don't put red peppers in it. Make it your own. Change up your flavors, put smoked paprika, put some liquid smoke in it. You can make it your own. Play with that recipe. You can make a million different types of cheese sauces. You can make a nacho cheese sauce. You can, however you want to make your cheese sauce. It is, if you don't use the cashews, no fat, delicious. Put it on any vegetable you want. It's a great way to add flavor to a plain potato. If you're doing the starch solution, it's a win-win situation. Or even your broccoli or anything else. So I'm just going to do a few potatoes and a little bit of carrot. And what am I missing? I'm missing my bowl that I always have out because I always save my scraps and use it for my soup stock. So these carrots weren't organic, but if they were, I'd probably just wash them really good. The other recipe we're going to do this week is a great recipe with Brussels sprouts. And this is a great Brussels sprout recipe, no fat, absolutely delicious. Try to do this without cutting myself. Now, if you were going to use some cashews, half a cup 1/4 cup. It just adds a different mouthfeel to it. So it's totally up to you wherever you are on your journey. If you're still trying to lose extra weight, just leave them out. If you're on maintenance, you could just throw them in. Totally up to you. I'm just leaving them out. I kind of like the cheese sauce without it. Doesn't matter to me. And I don't always take off all the skin. Just some of these skins are just a little. Just find it blends up a lot better. Okay. So I'm making a big batch this week. So it'll take me into next weekend. We're going away, so I want to have extra. So I don't have to worry this week about making extra for next weekend. Okay. And of course, to this, we're going to cook this up, throw it in our blender. We're going to add some nutritional yeast. I add some white miso to it, and garlic, onion powder, the usual, some lemon juice. Okay. See how fast we can get our meal prep done this week. Doing my sweet potatoes more for my breakfasts this week. Kind of in a sweet potato mood. There we go. I'm going to add some water now. And the lid. Put that in the back burner. And I am going to add a little kosher salt to that. That's just starting to come up to a boil, so we're just going to keep an eye on that. So let's get into our upscale Brussels sprouts. The first thing we're going to need is we're going to need to shred our Brussels sprouts. So we have our cleaned Brussels sprouts. We need about 1 pound of them. I'm just going to use whatever I have here. And I'm going to use my food processor. Now you can slice them all you want, if that's what you want to do. You go for it. I'm going to use my trusty machine because it makes it so much easier. There we go. Now that we have our shredded Brussels sprouts, we have lots of them. There we go. That's all we need. Now before we go any further, don't forget, hit that subscribe button on the side and scooch over and hit that little bell icon, so you're notified every time one of my recipes goes up or one of my videos. I do some restaurant reviews for here in Chicago or while we're traveling, and those ones my husband usually joins us. And I do some Aldi hauls and obviously some meal preps, some Starch Solution meal preps. So we have all of our shredded Brussels sprouts. We're going to need an apple. You could use a tart apple. That's usually best. I'm just using what I have. And again, all my recipes, make them your own. I'm just going to use what I have. It's still going to be delicious. We're just going to peel it and cut it into chunks. You could leave the skin on, totally up to you. We're just it's going to cook down. This would be another good recipe for the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You're going to want to toast your pecans, which I've done. They're just cooling. Make sure. We're going to have to chop those up also. I love Brussels sprouts. Leave me a comment down below, guys. Are you a Brussels sprout lover or nay? I think sometimes it's just if they're not cooked right. I think that's sometimes what the issue is. You know, if you grew up with somebody who like murdered them growing up, you know, they just weren't cooked right. I find, especially if you roast them in the oven, they get that char. They're so delicious. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're going to get our pecans. We're going to chop those. These have been toasted lightly. So you just want to brown them, bring out the oils a little bit, enhance the flavor. That's what toasting them does. I toasted mine in a dry frying pan on the stovetop. You could also do them in the oven. Just keep an eye on them. They do go fast. There we go. We have all of our ingredients. We're all set to make our Brussels sprouts. Okay, so we have some water in our frying pan, or in our pan. So we're going to water saute these. I think that's more than enough. I think I'm going to save a little bit and make a slaw with it. So we're going to cook these with a little bit of salt for about 7 to 8 minutes. There we go. So just keep an eye on them. We don't want them to burn, but we do want them to get charred at some points. But just keep an eye so that they do brown. There's that one. And then keep adding water so they don't burn. Okay, so now we're going to add in our garlic. We have 2 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of maple syrup, and our chopped apple. Mix that in. Goodness, it smells so good. Oh, I can't wait to try it. Now we're just going to lower the temperature and let it cook down till the apple softens. And again, just keep an eye on it. I'm going to just try it for salt. Some pepper now. now, once your apples have softened, we're all done. We're just going to add in our toasted pecans. And we're going to add in the juice of half a lemon. That's just going to brighten it right up. Give it a toss. And then give it a try. If you think it needs a little bit more lemon juice, add more lemon juice. Very hot. That's perfect. Okay, so we're almost done. Just going to finish up with my cheese sauce. There we go. So the potatoes and the carrots are done. I'll throw those in my Vitamix. Now, I actually had a viewer leave me a comment about using some mustard and yogurt in hers. So I'm going to give mustard a try this time. So thank you very much for that comment. I really appreciate that. There we go. My husband loves mustard, so you'll probably like this. Turmeric, as per usual. Nutritional yeast. No wonder my B12 is off the charts all the time. Miso paste. And again, really, I don't measure, guys. We should all know this by now, right? Especially when it comes to this. Use the lemon juice still. And garlic. White pepper, cayenne. I do want a little spicy this time. And onion powder. Sometimes I just look at my spice drawer and say, hey, what do I feel like trying today? Oh, you know what I do feel like trying this time? Is a little bit of smoked paprika. Smoky try this time. Okay. And then we're going to add a little bit of the liquid. And you know the routine, guys. Blend. Liquid lava. I'm going to say a tad of salt. Man, that's good. Okay. I could probably eat that by the bowl. And I usually think. Great on some baked tortillas. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more mustard in there, just to give it some more zing. But I can see where that would be, might have been a little extra too much nooch, but who said there's too much nooch? And there we go, guys. I'm just going to do some carrot sticks. You guys know how to do carrot sticks. And sweet potatoes are going to be coming out of the oven. I'll lay everything out for you to see what we've done in the last hour. Didn't take very long. Again, when you have other things going in the background, you can get everything done and be on with the rest of your day. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you again, guys, for leaving me comments below. I really appreciate them, and any kind of tips that you guys have found. I love that one about the mustard because we do love mustard here, so that's a great one. Thank you again. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next meal prep or recipe. Bye, guys.